Oh, what's up, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome to the She Made Me Podcast.
What?
I am Chris, of course. This is Sam.
Calderon.
And we've been away for the last few weeks.
Yeah.
Some life stuff happened. I got sick, family things, etc., etc. But we are back, and we just watched...
And excited.
Woo. Yes. No, absolutely. We just watched an actually really decent movie.
Yeah, it was decent.
It was actually a pretty decent movie, which I didn't think we would do on this podcast.
Hannah has been trying to get me to watch this since 3 years now.
Yeah.
The beginning of our relationship.
Yeah, you told me the story about this.
Yeah, so this is kind of like what inspired this podcast a little bit, this whole thing, because Hannah, our original thing was like we're both into movies. Like we were big movie snobs. Really. And so that's what we bonded on early on. So she would tell me to go watch stuff, and I would go watch it as a dutiful boy who wants to get laid, like I said. And but I would tell her, I would go home and watch them, and I would, as a stoner in high school, would fall asleep halfway through or like through the end, and like wake up and just see the end and not know what the hell happened.
And then totally be like, yeah, I totally
and she would talk to me about it and be like, yeah, I watched it. It was awesome. Loved it.
Yeah, especially that end.
Oh, wow, real good.
Real good.
Like, I don't know if anybody's seen the movie Shame. Have you ever seen the movie Shame?
No.
So it's Michael Fassbender as a sex addict.
Okay.
Yeah, it's really good.
Oh, I have heard of it.
It's cool. But that's another one where I fell asleep and I woke up and Michael Fassbender's getting his dick sucked by a gay guy. And I'm like, wow, I missed a lot.
Whoa. What? Okay, I'm in. All right.
Yeah.
So the movie that we watched is called Elizabethtown.
Yeah.
I mean, sometimes I always get a little weirded out when people are just like, hey, we're going to make it a secret about the movie we watched, even though it's in the title of everything.
Oh, yeah.
It's like, all right. Yeah, it's in the title. We watched Elizabethtown. Why don't we go through...
Don't go through the plot?
The plot.
All right, let's do it. I'll do a quick synopsis. Let's do it this way. We're changing up.
Okay.
I decided I have not told Chris I'm going to change up the format.
We don't prepare. We actually don't
by the way,
talk
guys.
for weeks at a time to backlog us talking to each other.
Yeah. That's us explaining that we don't talk at all.
We literally don't speak for weeks.
Legit,
at a time.
we
I gotta.
Here, let's air this out before we did not even Facebook message each other for these last 2 weeks until I was like, hey man, I miss you.
It was like Friday. He's just like, hey man, what's going on?
I poked my head into the door of Chris's social life.
It really was. Are you still alive? How you doing?
Are you okay?
Are you going through some stuff? Nah, dude, I'm just not wanting to put a shirt on ever.
Sorry.
I don't socialize because I don't like putting shirts on. That's really my life.
And your kids don't give a shit.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
Doesn't matter. What the hell were we talking about before this?
Okay, so...
All right, a movie.
Yes.
Oh, yeah. Okay, yeah. We don't prepare before this either.
No.
We have never had a conversation about format.
No. But that's
how we're going to go about it.
That's how I like podcasts.
Yeah, I like it organic.
Free-form.
Organic, yeah. Anyway, so yeah, I'm just going to lay out the plot.
Okay.
And then we're just going to talk about it.
Yes.
How about that?
Let's do that.
Okay.
I think that's good for this movie especially.
Yeah. So, Elizabethtown. So it starts off, and if I miss anything, chime in, obviously. Because I'm going to miss shit.
Can I just say, before we get into this, you're the best person for this because...
I shouldn't be doing this. That's why I'm the best person to do this. Like, it's only ironic why I'm doing it.
Sam looks to me, we're about halfway through the movie, and he looks to me, he's just like... Because I'm asking him a bunch of questions. He's like, you do this every time we watch a movie, but halfway through, you need me to catch you up. Do you, like, maybe no. I don't ever actually pay attention to the movies.
Chris checks in to make sure we're both watching the same movie.
Really
it's like, so wait a minute. So she was the flight attendant, right? Yeah. And he likes her? Yeah. All right. Okay.
I just like to make sure we're on the same page. Everything.
Yeah, you know what's going on. You just like to let me know that I know. I don't know what's going on.
Okay, so how did this movie go?
Okay, so Elizabethtown. So we come into Orlando Bloom's character. I don't know his name. We come into...
I don't know anybody's name.
Me either. So yeah, we'll just go from there. So Orlando Bloom's character is a shoe designer. And he has designed the worst shoe in the history of shoes. And he is going... The movie starts with him going into the office. Everybody's looking at him real weird because he's lost his company millions of dollars. Rounded to $1 billion. Yeah, as he likes to say through the whole movie. So then he goes, and then Alec Baldwin is his boss, and he's really
of course
weird.
playing
Alec Baldwin. Yeah. And then they go, And he walks him through. He's like, yeah, you lost this company a lot of money. You're an asshole. And then Orlando Bloom decides to go home, and he's really depressed, as you would be. And obviously lost his job. And he comes home with a pair of his recalled sneakers and decides to kill himself. He wants to kill himself.
Before we get into that, though, because a big part of this is actually, so he's cost this company billions of dollars. Mm-hmm. His boss and him have this really interesting conversation because Alec Baldwin is Alec Baldwin it up he does. But the rest of the world isn't really going to know anything about this for like a week or so.
Right. There's a grace period.
Yeah, there's a grace period. Nothing's going to get to the press or anything for a week or so.
Yeah.
So nobody else knows but him. And
he's wallowing in his own pity.
Yeah, he's wallowing. Yeah, so it's not like the world is out to get him yet.
No, not yet. So he's in pity me mode. I lost my job mode.
Yeah.
And so he decides, I'm going to kill myself, right? As any rational human being does, right? And then so he grabs this bike from his closet, like an exercise bike. Yeah. He MacGyvers it into a death machine,
which is fucking phenomenal.
Which is awesome. Like,
and he's had this plan for a while. He has an entire drawer full of knives.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah.
Just like these.
Oh yeah. He like lovingly finds this knife. Like he like picks the tip of it.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
And he's like, yes.
This is like
wonderful. I can imagine this plunging into my chest.
I feel like, even if he didn't lose his job, he would still be suicidal. This was just his end point.
He's just a depressive individual.
This death machine was his way
because he had it in the closet, like, ready to go.
Yeah. He had this plan going.
But seriously, though, he had, like, an entire, like, he added, like, a gizmo to it that would, like, which was a motor.
Yeah.
He added an electric motor to it.
Which would swing, so...
It swang. What he changed it into was, he turned the handlebars that move with you, like an elliptical machine.
Yeah.
He turned the handlebars so that it would just hold a knife and they would stab him with the pedal motion.
So he just pushes a button and it would impale, like, an awful way to die.
Yeah, horrible way to die. But I was thinking, I just thought of now, like, like the scenes where Tony Stark is building his first, like, mech suit?
It's him building this death machine.
It's him building a death machine instead. Anywho, it was really well done. He engineered it very well. So he's about to kill himself, and then he gets a call, and it's his sister saying that his dad just passed away from a heart attack, and he was in Louisville. So he was in.
We can keep this bit going for a few minutes. Louisville. Okay.
And so he has to go down there to go get his dad. So he goes. So and that's pretty much the entire movie is him going down there to go meet his dad. And then so on the plane to go down there, he meets, and he's in business class. He still has money. And he meets Kirsten Dunst, and they have a nice little meet cute. She's a flight attendant,
and he's the only person on this plane.
Yeah, that's
so
like
it's
that's
like
their,
this weird
that's how
post 9/11 thing where nobody is on airplanes.
Was that actually a moment?
I feel like that's what it is.
Or are we making that?
But this is like a 2006 movie, so it still could technically be that. But I don't. It's in that weird period where it could be that.
It could be.
That's what I'm...
I thought that it was like nobody wants to go to Louisville.
That could be also.
So
it's the post 9/11, nobody wants to go to Louisville. Okay. All right.
They're scared of the Islamic sect in Louisville. That's why. We all knew about that, right?
Yeah,
that's where they came from.
That's where they came from. That's where they trained.
Yeah. That's why George Bush invaded Louisville, actually.
Okay, so
anyways, so there's nobody on this plane, so that's why they get talking, and they meet cute. He's all not open and closed off and melancholy, and she's very open and bubbly and southern and kinda horrible accent.
Whatever that accent is supposed to be, I think it was technically supposed to be some kind of southern.
I think it's Mary Jane from Sam Raimi's Spider-Man playing a southern woman.
That's so perfect. It actually is.
Oh my god, because she's an actress.
Yeah.
Okay, never mind.
So it's Mary Jane.
I don't like this meta.
It's Mary Jane.
I really like Julia Roberts drunk in Mother's Day. I like that meta. This meta is not a fan.
Okay, so
anyway, so they meet and they exchange phone numbers. Oh right, she gives him the number to get a free night at a 4-star hotel.
Yeah,
that's how they like have a connection. They stay connected.
I'm glad you remember that because I didn't know how.
I'm glad I remember that too. I'm very impressed with myself.
How she got his number or anything. I didn't remember that.
Yeah, so he's gonna get a free night. The only reason why because of the wedding thing. Anyways, yeah. So he goes. He meets his. So the reason. So he was the only one going to go get his dad because the rest of the family, the other half of his family, doesn't get along with the southern part of his family.
Yeah, and his sister has a kid to take care of, and his mother is
it's the whole
crazy.
thing. He's the only one available. Yeah. So he goes down and he meets, like, he starts meeting his family. They're all quirky, fun, not down to earth. Small town down there in Luminous. And loving life down there. Banjos are playing.
Yeah.
Paula Deen is his aunt.
No, like, actually Paula Deen.
Legit.
Not
Paula
like,
Deen.
We got to make that clear. It's actually Paula Deen.
Yeah, it's not a caricature of a Southern woman. It is legitimately Paula Deen. And so, which was fantastic. Yeah. Actually, she's not bad.
She's not in it enough.
Yeah. She could have made this movie so much better. But so that's fun. And what's really we see, like, narratively in this point is his dad meant a lot to a lot of people. Mm-hmm. And he wasn't personally close to his dad, so this is giving a new perspective on this, right?
Because he's the California side of the family.
Yeah, Hollywood.
And of course, like, all of these movies, all of the country folk hate the California folk. And,
look where you went. You aren't connected to this.
Yeah.
Anyway, so, and he connects with his cousin who used to have a Lynyrd Skynyrd covered band. So, shit like that. Small town America stuff. Yeah. And then where else does it go? Oh, yeah. So then they start having, and then he goes, there's a whole thing about the hotel. I'm going to skip that.
So, but the real conflict in the movie when it comes to the father and the family and stuff, the only real conflict there is the idea that his mother wants his father cremated.
Yeah.
Well,
brought to California,
where the family wants to bury him at home.
Yeah, in Louisville.
Louisville. So that's sort of really the only conflict
keeps him
in this
there.
movie.
Yeah, that's what keeps him there at least. Yeah. So so he's there trying to essentially convince them to go with his plan, to go be like, no, this is my dad.
Yeah.
Can I have him, please?
Please.
Give me the body of my father.
Guys, please.
You're not selling him on the black market.
Yes.
I know Louisville has a huge crime community. Anyway.
And that terrorist sect.
That goddamn terrorist sect. They really changed the world there.
Anyway.
So after he exhumed his father from the terrorist sect that is Louisville, so he convinces them to bring his dad back to California.
Well, this is still, like, happening, but
eventually. So that's like the whole thing, and then so him and Kristen Dunst get closer. They start talking on the phone.
So this is some
random reason.
So he's staying in this
hotel.
And I don't think we were paying enough attention during this part of the movie because we were talking over it. See that video on my channel.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
But so. She randomly... So he's in the middle of, like, 3 different phone calls. So he's talking to his sister. Yeah. He's talking to...
Oh, right. This one.
And suddenly, Kristen Dunst's character calls him... Dunst. She calls him randomly out of nowhere. And at this point, I'm like, oh, so she's just a crazy stalker.
Yeah.
Because that's all I get from it. And if you can convince me of any other... way that she calls him in this circumstance.
No, she 100% was a stalker.
Okay.
But then later on, she also comes to the hotel, and we were like, if these gender roles were switched, because she, like, comes behind him and, like, does the whole, like, covers the eyes, like, who is it?
But, okay, so she randomly calls him, and he's just, she's helping him out, they're talking, and they start this phone relationship, basically, where they're just talking all the time. He's always on the phone. There's a big montage of him just always on the phone talking to her.
Yeah, and they're, like, having, like, philosophical ruminations on things. Yeah. As you do in a budding relationship kind of thing, right?
Yeah.
We're seeing these people fall in love. In the tub.
Hanging out.
Oh, wow. Oh, we'll talk about that later. Yes. Asterix.
Asterix.
So they're talking and they're getting along. They're loving each other's company.
Yeah. It's a budding friendship.
And he needs it too, because he's, like, sad and
at the beginning of the movie, obviously his suicide attempt, it's very clear that he's in a dark place. And his father's death only, and he's really weird, especially in the beginning of the movie.
He's a weirdo.
He's just, like, weird. Like, he's in a weird place. Yeah. And he looks, when he first gets there to Louisville, he goes to see his dad, and then there's, like, weirdness there where his dad, like,
some weird
smiles
surreal moment. Yeah, there's a surreal moment where his
But
dad
I think what they're trying to get across is he's just in a weird place. And throughout this conversation and this relationship with the Kristen Dunst... Dunst?
Yes, Dunst.
Really?
I have the DVD cover.
Kristen
Kristen.
I'm just going to call her Kristen from now on.
Katie.
What the hell is her character's name? Why don't I just call her from her character name? Well, let's see here. Hold on. No.
Then she's the only one we're calling by the character name. By
Claire.
the way, please cut this out. Oh yeah, Claire. Yeah. Okay. I can't remember Orlando Bloom's character's name at all.
So Claire calls him randomly because she's a creeper. And they just start this conversation. But it's really nice because you start to see the main character, he's starting to relax. He's starting to get in at least a stable place. Yeah. Not necessarily in a good place, but more stable, more like less weird, less.
He's plugging back into life. Kind of thing.
Yeah.
I would like it. That's one. Here's the first gripe I have. I would have liked that to be more clear that because to me what we said was like it seemed like he was in shock. Mm-hmm. You know, like he can't process things properly, and he's not like there.
Especially in the early times of the movie. Yeah. He's definitely.
But I would have liked some sort of like him alone in his room, and he's not processing anything. He's not doing anything. You know, I would have liked this, like at least one scene like that.
Yeah, and I think
where it's like, oh, he really is like struggling here.
Yeah.
Because you don't really get that. It's just kind of told, like, yeah, I want to kill myself. That's all we get.
Not to jump too far ahead here, but I think that undercuts the ending of the movie a bit. Is that we don't get that moment of him like really struggling because throughout most of the movie, I feel like he's actually doing well, like he's doing fine. Like
it looks like he's functioning.
Yeah, and getting better, and through this friendship with Claire.
Yeah,
like he's getting better. You know, he's doing the thing that humans do. He's grieving, but he's getting better.
Yeah.
Okay, so go on. So they have this friendship going on,
and he's opening up more and stuff like that. Yeah, to her at least. Yeah, to nobody else but her.
No.
Yeah,
but we don't need anybody else.
Yeah,
at this point, really.
Which is cool. Yeah, and then he does end up convincing them to cremate the body and all this stuff. And so he's gonna bring it to California. The body's getting cremated. No funeral in Louisville. Said and done. And then he's looking at admittedly we were talking through this.
We were talking through this entire movie, so but then, bear with us.
So I'm not full on the details, but he ends up he's on the phone with Kirsten Dunst, and then after the conversation, he's looking at a stove burner that was left on.
Yeah,
and he at that same moment he's like, no. I don't want my dad not alive.
No, he is definitely dead. Although that smile,
nobody wants their dad burnt alive. So you don't need to come to a realization.
He doesn't want his father cremated, so he runs.
He runs to the crematorium, and
they hand him
Pop's already in the urn.
They hand him the urn, and
that's a moment. That's a moment, and then they're at the funeral. I don't know what the hell happens next.
So basically, what happens is they end up having a real funeral. So they've already paid for. All the stuff
does it just jump to the funeral? Is there something in between? That's what I was saying.
Honestly, if it's not memorable, whatever.
Yeah,
let's get to the story.
Let's jump to the funeral.
Yeah.
So we're at the funeral. By the way, there's nobody in the casket. They're just burying his clothes.
Yeah.
He's keeping the urn.
Because they paid for everything. They might as well appease the rest of the family, bury something.
So they buried this casket.
Yeah.
Weird.
And they have the best friggin' funeral I have ever seen.
Oh yeah, the wake.
I want this funeral.
It's a nice dinner. They have a nice dinner, and everybody's saying words. Paula Deen says some beautiful words. Brings her nice corn muffins. Yeah, that's not a thing. I just really hope she brought corn muffins. And then the wife is there.
Yeah,
like the mom.
And we actually get some real It's a weird thing because you don't really see the mother throughout the entire movie.
No,
and then you get this like bludgeon of character development with this character, but it's really nice.
Because the mom is trying to deal, she's trying to cope. We keep checking in with her.
Yeah, she's
in
phone
a little
crazy. She's a little crazy.
She's a grieving woman. She's trying to get into acceptance.
Yeah,
kind of thing.
And then she's just trying to keep herself busy, and she's just here, there, and everywhere.
She's go. Yeah, keeping yourself distracted.
She's the kind of person who would just keep herself busy, try not to think about it, just ahead.
Yeah. So now finally she has this moment where she's like. Has to stop and settle down, and she's has to do this speech at her husband's wake, and it was really well done. It was really well done. There's not much we can say. Oh yeah, okay, and then so this wake ends with the Lynyrd Skynyrd cover band, and they're playing Free Bird, and they're
playing it well. By the way,
they're doing a great rendition of Free Bird, and well done, very true to form. And then they have a paper mache bird.
Yeah.
As part of the show to on a zip line.
Free Bird.
As you do. You can't you gotta play it up.
You gotta go all in.
If you're a Lynyrd Skynyrd cover band, you best have some set pieces. That's all I'm saying. So their set piece decides to catch on fire because it's too close to a light.
Yeah.
And it's on fire, hanging over the entire crowd. Everybody's going insane.
No, they're not going insane. That's my problem with this entire thing. So this banner, this banner lights on fire. Like there's a banner on fire. This bird is on fire, and everybody's just like, "Yeah, this is awesome."
Okay, they think it's part of the show, though.
Yeah, whatever. This room is on fire, and everybody's just standing there going, "Yeah,
they're clapping."
Cool.
They're literally clapping and cheering. And then they realize, oh no, this is not planned.
People realize when the smoke starts filling the room, like, oh, this is not cool.
And the sprinklers turn on, shit has gone bad.
So everybody's like exiting the room, except for the band. They keep motherfucking playing the song. They never stop.
This is the Louisville Titanic, everybody.
They're going down with the Titanic. They're playing the entire way. It's great.
They will play you into doomsday. It was really well done. It was really funny.
It's really cool, actually. So they're playing their hearts out. They're loving this, and our main character is standing there, and he's having a moment, and his sister's there, and she's having a moment. Everybody's just like having a moment. And one of my favorite things
in the midst
about
of this chaos,
is this movie doesn't like this movie has silly parts, but I feel like they're very human real. You know what I mean? Like I feel like
here's the thing. Actually, I disagree. I do disagree because that's the thing. Like. You're trying to interject these character moments, right? Mm-hmm. And that's what it feels like in these like silly moments. You're trying to interject character into it.
But I feel like they're silly movie.
What was the one moment where we were both like, no, that's where they did it really right? What was that moment?
I don't know.
But it was like a real heartwarming moment.
Yeah, there's a few of them in there though.
There's a couple of them.
They add these like silly movie things, but I feel like the reactions are very like human.
Yeah. What was that one real moment? It was in the with the sprinklers.
Yeah.
So she's like standing in the rain.
Oh, the sister, yeah.
Like accepting the rain, like letting it wash over her kind of thing. And I was like, you know what? I wish we had that for the brother, for like Orlando Bloom's character.
And then you cut to the brother, and
you do get that.
Yeah, you do get that.
And then he's like, he's sitting there and he's like taking it all in, and he's like remembering his dad, kind of thing.
Yeah.
And like we should have had that earlier in the movie, but I'm glad we did get that at some point.
At some point, yeah. We needed more of that. We needed more of his pain.
We needed to see what he was going through because we don't really know. Because throughout the whole movie, legitimately, we don't know what he's going through.
By the time we get to the last stretch of the movie, which we're about to get to here, I think we're supposed to feel that he's still in a really dark place and he's really struggling. And I don't think we got that.
No, we didn't. It doesn't come through.
No.
Yeah. But he definitely is. And that
there is that part between him and Claire where they're kind of bickering and he's like, well, I lost $1 billion to this company and that's my big secret. Yeah. And like there's a thing there. Like obviously it's still bothering him, but we really don't see the emotion. We don't really see that what's like really eating him.
Yeah. He talks about it, but we don't see the emotion behind it.
Yeah, I think we needed to get more emotion out of it.
Yeah, that's true. That's what I was looking for.
And like at the beginning of the movie, it made a lot of sense.
Because it would have made you like latch onto the character more. I actually don't like the character, to be honest with you.
No.
Like I don't love him. He's not lovable or relatable whatsoever.
Like his character made a whole lot of sense at the beginning because he's very emotionally detached because all this shit went down, and of course you emotionally detached, just kill himself, get over it. But like his brain is snapped.
Yeah.
But I think as we go through the movie, you're getting days out of all this stuff happening. In a normal human thing, you're just going to start seeing emotion. He's going to start processing, and you're going to see that. Really. Yeah. And when we get into the final part of the movie here, they expect you to understand that emotion is there, and we don't see it. So anyway, getting to the final...
Besides him talking about it.
Yeah, like he talks about it, but you don't really see it.
And in those small moments, we needed a little bit more.
Yeah.
We did need a little bit more. They were on the right track, though.
Yeah.
Like 100%. Anyway, so that happened, and then we actually have what happens that? Oh yeah, so then Claire and him are separating. She has to go one way, he has to go. He's going on the road trip back home.
Like this whole thing has really been them building a friendship, and like they
and they have now come into a relationship. Yeah. Oh yeah, they kiss and stuff. They talk about after the rain stuff happens. They're with like the urn and stuff, and they're just like drunk and having a good time. Yeah. And she's like, "I like you," and he's like, "I like you too. Let's kiss," and they kiss.
And they do spend a night together.
Oh, right. Yeah. That was before, though.
But then, like, so she is leaving town because she's got to go home.
She's a flight attendant.
Yeah, she's a flight attendant. This is
And he's leaving too. So
and he's
yeah,
leaving too. Like this is always going to be a temporary thing. She's just there to be a friend and help out,
Yeah.
and they do like each other, but this is never going to go anywhere.
yeah.
And he's a little frustrated about that and whatever. So like there's a bit of tension there, but it never
It wasn't a big
escalates.
deal. It wasn't a big
and
deal.
And I kind of like that it never really escalated into movie like tantrums.
There was no real conflict.
Yeah, I don't know.
Not an abundant. There was no main conflict. Let's say that.
Like my brain is conflicted because my movie watching brain wants there to be conflict because that's what my brain is trained to want.
Yeah.
But I also hate the fact that so many movies push this fake conflict into
But here's the
these
thing,
movies.
dude. Here's the thing. So I agree with you. I agree with that. Like Mother's Day, or like
yeah.
or like even, and a good example would be the first one we watched too. Yeah. You know, like these movies are trying to wait. What was the point at the beginning?
Well, they build themselves into a fake conflict
Oh,
or some
yeah.
some kind
Here's the
of
thing.
contrived.
So, but you look at
conflict.
like Mother's Day, especially.
Yeah.
And the other one, it's like, look at what happens when you don't have any substantial conflict.
Yeah.
Then the whole movie just like is meandering about with nothing that it can really focus on, right?
Yeah.
At least this movie did have that, you know, he's going to go get his dad's body.
Yeah.
That sort of plot
and
point
that's
to go
the conflict,
against.
and it's just weird for my brain because there is no real conflict in this relationship. This relationship is actually fairly healthy.
We're emotionally,
Like,
yeah.
it's an emotionally healthy relationship, which is weird for movies.
She's really good for him, and he doesn't take advantage of her.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is true, actually.
It's actually just really weird because my brain is wired to think that, no, this needs to be an emotionally
They must have had a
unhealthy-
horrible experience sometime in the movie,
They've
but
got to
no,
like
they
fight
really
and
don't.
hate each other at some point and then come back together. That's how movies work.
We just watched a nice relationship bloom.
yeah, we really did.
That's all it is.
So anyway, we get to this point. The funeral's happened. His father's dead. Well, his father is sitting beside him in the car
With him, yeah.
So he has his father. He's going to bring him back to California.
Hang on, let me just get
Yeah.
back. She so they're about to leave, right?
Oh, at the funeral.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
she hands him this like big case, and she's like, and it's obviously not bigger than a map.
Yeah, it's like a big case.
Yeah,
It's
and she's
weird.
like, "Here's your map."
Here's your map to get you home.
Chris and I were like, "Oh yeah," because back in 2006 we didn't have smartphones. We
Yeah,
had
they didn't have smartphones, so obviously
Map
they had
trunks.
giant map trunks.
Anyways, so and he doesn't really make anything of it, and then when he gets in the car to do his road trip home with his dad,
Yeah.
he like realized this is like it's a whole book. It's like a scrapbook.
Yeah, it's a big scrapbook.
She's done like a bunch of mixtapes, and he can't skip any of the songs. is,
Yeah,
the
like mixed
thing.
CDs.
It's gonna take him 46 hours.
Like she's planned out this trip to the minute.
Yeah, yeah.
And she's has music for every part of
voice
the
recordings
trip.
over it, assumedly, or that was like narration for the movie. But
I
I'm
feel
assuming that was
on
like
the CD.
part of the
Yeah,
mixtape.
she bought a microphone. She sat down in a recording studio. She did it for real.
in her shrine of Orlando Bloom.
Because again, creepy stalker.
Yeah, we were like at the end of the movie, she'd be like, "It is actually a ploy that was just a marketing scheme for her travel agency."
Yeah,
Really well done, curated tours for melancholy
she's
moments.
really good at her job.
Yeah. The East Coast tour for your family pet that died. Yeah.
So anyway, so she's planned out this really long, trip.
Well done trip.
Yeah, it's like it's the long way home where he gets to stop at very meaningful historical places in the
Yeah.
United States and leave parts of his father's ashes at all these different places.
Yeah.
It's a special road trip for him and his father to
Yeah.
go on,
And you have that dialogue between it. He like kind of talks to his dad in the car, you know, to the urn. He's like, we should have done this a long time ago. And we get these moments of silent of where you're looking out from the outside the car and he's crying, like finally, like because he hasn't cried the whole movie.
And
he,
and
finally cries.
And I think that what they wanted to go for is like he's really holding everything in, and now he's letting it out.
We
and I
should
think
have
that's what
seen
they
that more.
But we needed something. This
The ending would have hit way
part
harder for
of
sure.
the movie was so good.
Yeah, it really was.
Like I almost wish this was more of the movie and the family stuff was less of the movie.
That's the thing. We needed to focus more on how he felt, and
Yeah.
we didn't really get that much.
Because like this road trip is so cool.
Yeah.
And like again, she's a creepy stalker. She put a lot of time and effort into this.
Yeah.
She's creepy. This is
I
a
feel like
creepy
that
thing.
road trip should have been a good half of the, like a
Yeah.
good quarter of the movie, honestly.
And she is a mental health professional who takes him through his emotional journey to
Oh yeah, because during this road trip,
yeah.
the story about his big shoe fiasco comes out.
Yeah, so it's not just about him, like, coming to terms with his father's death, which is a real thing, but it's
Yeah.
also about him coming to terms with his failure.
And getting back into life.
And getting back into life, where, like, she's actually walking him through getting over and coming
Yeah.
out of the failure of the shoe.
Yeah, and the moment where he reads, like, he goes and picks up a magazine that has, like, the cover of his disgusting looking shoe.
Yeah, it's just like, okay, you have 5 minutes to feel bad
Yeah.
about this and then move on.
Which I loved. I like that.
Yeah.
And we were like, wow, she really is a mental health
she
professional.
is a mental health professional.
Yeah.
And, like, this is freaking awesome. She's like, she is
She
his
comes out and she's
therapist.
like, yeah, therapy tours brought to you by Claire.
I feel like he's gonna get a bill in the mail for $2,000
Seriously,
for
man.
mental health services. Okay,
So
Like,
well done.
But anyway,
I want to do that. Like, I want that cathartic trip.
Yes.
With my dead father.
like, and it was just really, it's a really cool moment.
It was
and-
beautiful. It was
and
really
at
well
the
done.
very end of the trip, it's one of his shoes, and there's a note inside the shoe, and it's basically, okay, here's your
Oh, yeah.
here's
yeah.
your Y in the road, your whatever.
Yeah. One of his shoes.
Yeah, one of his shoes. Woo. And it's basically, you can go back home, you can follow the directions and head home, or you can come find me.
Yeah.
And
oh, yeah. That is the kind
yeah.
of the way it was. Yeah.
And it was a really cool thing, and that's how they end the movie. He obviously goes to her, and they have a moment, cut to credits.
Yeah, and it was nice.
And I love it. One of the really cool things about this movie I want to touch on for a second is the idea that she is the person that has spurred this relationship on.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
She's the one who made the phone call. She's the one who's really made all the
She was
attempts.
the instigator,
She's
yeah.
the instigator, and I really like that. And it's another one of those weird things where you watch so many movies, your brain starts to get rewired to think that men are supposed to be the chasers. Men are
Yeah.
supposed to be the ones that, instigate all this shit. The man, he's supposed to go after her. It's supposed to be love at first sight, and he's going to go
Yeah.
after her.
She's vulnerable. I'm the rock. Kind of thing.
She's the rock. She is.
Yeah.
She is helping him along emotionally. She is
In her own quirky way.
in her own
kind of
quirk.
thing. Yeah.
She's a weird, quirky person. But like, she really instigates everything, and she's just a powerful person in this, and she's
Yeah.
stable, and it's wonderful to see because you don't get that a lot in movies.
No.
Not to make this all movies are sexist bullshit. Like,
Yeah,
not that. Like, I'm not trying to be all weird feminist thing, but for real, like, movies do.
It was cool to see, and it wasn't like look how diverse we are and how much we
No.
care. It was just that's just how the movie
That's
played
just
out.
how
Yeah.
she is. That's just her character.
Yeah,
and
I honestly liked her character tenfold more than I did the main character.
I mean, she had
in Orlando.
character.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah, and despite the fact that she couldn't figure out if she had an accent or not,
Oh god.
by the end, like, she loses it.
Okay,
for
there's
most
literally
of
a
the
moment,
end.
literally a moment where it's regular old American English, and then right at the end, live.
It's like she remembered she had an accent.
Yeah.
Oh right,
Yeah.
shit. Okay.
Oh fuck.
Yeah. Or the
I'm
director,
Southern. Yeah, I'm Southern. Yeah.
the director's just like, your accent, your fucking accent.
Yeah.
Just do the. I know it's terrible. Just fucking do it.
They've been doing it for so long, like she keeps forgetting that that's the take they had to use because she just fucked it up every time.
The director is just livid at her. You have an accent. Just do it.
Listen up, MJ. All right. Your voice doesn't carry to the back of the stage. Spider-Man 3 reference, everybody.
Ooh. This movie was so good. It really was. Like, I'm always,
you know what though? I'm with this movie. We did watch a good movie. Like it was a decent
good movie.
For me, it's decent.
I mean, like, I guess I'm comparing to the garbage trash pile that was the other
compared
movies.
to the garbage trash pile we've seen.
This was a good movie.
Yeah, it's a cherry on top of that garbage.
I mean, I'm always gonna have like, I think I could watch the best movie ever made and be like, no, I wouldn't do that.
That's fair. You know what? I am being nitpicky. I realize I am. Being
That
nitpicky.
comes with being an asshole. So
Yeah, and you can't get away from that. You really can't change. Once you're an asshole, you're always an asshole.
But I really wanted, the road trip should have been longer. The family stuff, well entertaining. And I guess, you come to movies for entertainment, but this movie was also well over 2 hours.
Yeah, that's to be fair. That's
Like,
fair.
we needed
That
a
is a
lot
fair
less,
judgment. It is too long.
a lot less family stuff because that's not important. It's entertaining and it's interesting in its own right, but it's not needed to tell the rest of the story.
No.
And like a lot of these movies, it's really better to tighten it up.
More focus.
More focus. Yeah, just focus in on your main character and his new girlfriend and his recovery.
Yeah. There's a theme going on here. Like we keep saying in these past 3 movies.
Yeah.
If there's themes that we find in bad movies, which I think would be cool to
Well,
find.
I mean, like the last few movies have been so bad, you just want it to end as quickly as possible.
It's just they just need focus.
Yeah.
Like they just need to choose something.
Boil it down.
And stay there.
And focus. Yeah, because this movie didn't have to be over 2 hours, and it would have been better if it wasn't.
Welcome to Story Editing Class 101.
Yeah. I went to college for a year. I know a goddamn thing about how to make movies.
Story is important.
Story is important. Cool shots, yeah.
Story roller coaster, 3-act structures. Yay.
I know these things. I am a professional college student.
Paid for this information, guys. I could look this up in an afternoon.
We really are those assholes. I went to college for a year. I know more about movies than you do.
I'm a greater authority than you layman.
I saw one of our classmates, not going to name names, use their college education to talk about graphic design.
Oh, yeah.
And be real condescending about it. And I was like, we've had a basic graphic design class. We're not even in a graphic design course. It's just a basic, fundamental graphic design.
We are not authorities on graphic design. I know. I was in that
class.
Where
we learned the basics of Photoshop and After Effects. And you're going to talk smack to somebody about graphic design?
Yeah, that's...
Oh, it hurt my brain. Anyway, I just...
Tell me who it was after this, by the way. I really want to know.
Anyway, but yeah, I don't know.
Where the hell were we? Oh, right, this movie.
This movie.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. We do a podcast about movies. Holy shit.
We could transition to just talking.
Actually, I just want to finish my rating.
Sure.
Because I think I give it a 6.5.
Sure.
I'm being nitpicky.
What are we doing? Out of 10?
Yeah. Wait, have we done it out of 5 this entire time?
I don't know. I like the 5 scale.
Okay,
the 5 scale really makes you hone in on what
that's
you
feel. That's how you know we really weren't lying. We don't talk about this formally.
I like the 5 scale, no half points.
Oh, okay. No half points.
This really...
Wow, this is a really restrictive scale,
Chris. That means you have to be very clear with how you feel
my points are big. My points are big then. Okay, so I'm going to say...
So, 1 is unwatchable. 5 is greatest movie ever.
5 is greatest movie ever.
And, so, a mediocre movie is right in the middle.
Okay. Then this is, if it was... I would give it a 2.5. I'm giving it... I can't give it a 2.
Are you going to go 2 or 3?
God damn you.
Are you going to give it a 2 or a 3?
We're changing this next podcast. I'm giving it a 3.
You give it a 3?
I give it a 3. It's middle of the road for me.
Okay.
It's middle of the road. Not a great movie.
Yeah.
Not a... I actually wouldn't watch it again.
Okay.
Honestly. But, I thought it was fine.
I would get others to watch it.
Would you recommend?
I would recommend
okay, that's another thing. Yeah, would you recommend? I wouldn't.
I think I agree with the 3 stars, especially given our weighted scale of horrible bullshit
that we're sticking to.
I almost think I should give it a 4, given our weighted
bullshit,
weighted bullshit of the last 2 movies. But I think a 3 is good with a recommendation.
Yeah. I'd 3 without a recommendation.
Okay,
yeah.
That'll be our half-point scale.
There we go.
Is the recommendation?
Okay.
Yeah.
I wanted to. I know we normally talk about. Anyways, so that movie. Yeah, there we go. Done.
Done.
On the shelf.
On the shelf.
I don't know. I wanted to. We can cut this out if you don't want to talk about this.
No,
but I want to take it. I want to bring it down.
Okay.
I want to bring it down a little bit.
All right.
Because like we said. I had some family stuff happen to me. Right? That's why we were on hiatus a little bit, right?
That's okay. Yeah.
So my aunt passed away, right? And this movie was talking about, I'm not pulling this out of my ass.
No.
This movie, it talks about, it made me think about my aunt and stuff, and legacy and what you want your funeral to be like. I don't like to shy away from the topic of death.
That's fair, yeah.
It's like we all got to go through it. We all got to... I think it's important to think about.
I'm an incredibly old man. I think about it all the time.
Ah, yes. This is what I was looking for. I knew I was friends with you for a reason, to talk about death and morbidity. No, but seriously, though, yeah. And I just wanted to pick your brain. Do you think about legacy? Do you think about...
I think about it a lot.
Yeah?
Especially having kids.
Yeah, I thought
you know, I have 4 kids. And you start to think about legacy different. Because then suddenly it's just like, well, your legacy isn't necessarily what you've done. Although you'd like to do something that would pass on and people would remember.
Of course.
But even if you could do anything and it's going to be forgotten over time. Unless you're like the president or this or that. Like
but in a mundane day-to-day life.
For most people, you could be whatever and eventually you're going to be forgotten. But when you have kids, it's different. Because your family is always going to know somewhat of where they came from. If they're being raised right.
Yeah.
You know, remember me, asshole kids. Please, dear God, remember me. Don't forget me when I'm in the dirt. But they are your legacy. You know, like even no matter what you've done, all the shitty YouTube videos I've made, like they will continue to go and do their own thing and have their own family. So.
Is that kind of like, did you think about that when you were about to have kids?
It's always been something I always wanted kids.
Like, was that part of it where you're like, somebody's gonna remember me?
Well, not that gross, but
not gross like that. I don't.
You know, it's that weird, you know, physiological thing of just like needing to procreate and that's part of it though is not wanting to just go away and leave nothing.
Off with the dust.
Yeah. And, you know, I could go off and do neat things, but I know for a fact that I will not just disappear. You know, I have a wife, I have kids, and my kids will have kids. And
I know we always say it, like, and it comes up all the time whenever, like, we talk about things like this, right? Like family and stuff. But it seriously is the most important thing in life. Yeah. I really do believe that.
And it really bothers me, and there's a lot of talk about how, you know, and people get so weird about any topic. And people get weird about the topic of having kids. And there's certain people out there, it's like, it is evil to have kids. In 2017, it is evil to have kids. Overpopulation is a thing. And overpopulation is a thing.
Yeah,
and,
not here. We're fine.
For now,
you have a yard. You're good.
But I mean, like, we are, and humanity is going through, it's a problem. It's a real legit problem.
Yeah.
And
the world's changing rapidly.
But people are fucking lunatics. It's like, and it's just like,
this bugs you, eh? This,
it really does,
because it's don't have kids.
Because like having kids was so important to me, and legit, I have too many kids.
Four kids, that's not too many.
4 is way too much. I should feel guilty. Overpopulation is literally all my fault.
You are a contributing factor to overpopulation.
All my fault. Literally all my fault.
You have an extra 1.5 kids.
Yeah,
how dare you?
I fucking doomed us all. But if people could just boil down the thought of having kids to that single topic, it's like, but just like everything else in the world, it's so much more than that, so much deeper than that. Like it really is your legacy.
I know it's never like one reason, but like, why did you have kids though?
I just always wanted kids.
Yeah,
I want little slaves. They do whatever I want. No, I don't know. I guess it was never really a question.
No. Like when you did, like you and your wife, you just...
like Leanne is crazy for kids. She has started bugging me about, we could have one more. I was like, I'm not having 5 fucking kids, you. But like
Rose is like barely not even out of diapers.
And like I have my limits, but no, like it was never really a question, you know. And like Leanne, her first job was looking after kids, you know, in like a daycare, and I don't know. It's also scary because you could fuck up, right?
I mean, you already have fucked up just by virtue of having children. You've already fucked up. You don't even know that you fucked up yet.
But and you know, this might be going over the heads of some of our listeners, but you know about the Daddy of 5 thing, right? And
do you want to explain it quickly?
Yeah. So the Daddy of 5 issue is basically there was this family on YouTube who. The mother and the father would play pranks on their kids, and instead of mean fucking pranks, like they were hurting their kids, they were emotionally destroying their kids. Like, look it up on Google. Like, it's
not good. If you want to be depressed for an afternoon, it really does hurt.
It really hurts to watch.
It's bad to watch.
Philip DeFranco did a couple really good videos,
best coverage
describing it.
Yeah.
But the reason I bring that up is because you look at that, and then you look at their video where the kids are just like, oh no, I love this stuff. Remember that video that they made, and like they weren't lying. The kids weren't lying.
No,
the kids
they believe what
they
were saying.
They believe what they're saying because it's normal to them.
Yeah.
And I believe that the father doesn't think there's anything wrong with it, and the mother doesn't think anything's wrong with it because it was normal for them.
Yeah, it became normal.
That's how this stuff happens because he was probably raised that way in an abusive family. And so on down the line.
Yeah.
And the same thing when it comes to like racism or this or that.
Yeah.
Like it starts there. And if you're a shitty person, you're gonna make shitty people.
Yeah.
And that's the scariest part of being a father, right? Is, oh God, I hope I'm not a shitty person. Because I don't want to make a shitty person. I hope I'm not being weird. Like, I hope my upbringing wasn't weird and I just don't know about it.
Yeah.
And I hope I'm not pushing that weirdness onto my kids because I don't know about it and they won't know about it. You know what I mean?
I know what you mean. Yeah. I think it can go opposite too. Like for me, I love my parents, don't get me wrong. But they taught me a lot of what not to do. Honestly, they really, really did. I consider them dark teachers.
The dark arts.
Yeah. But seriously though, like the lessons they taught me, they didn't even know they were giving me lessons. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? That sort of thing. And so I'm gonna look back on it like I know I'm gonna do it. I might do it wrong because I'm gonna do it way different than my parents did.
Yeah.
So I'm just gonna kind of flip the script and see how it goes.
Just see what happens.
Like I wasn't raised like this, but I think this will be a good way to raise kids, so I'll do this. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like that kind of thing.
Yeah.
I'm a fucking 21-year-old who knows nothing about kids. I know I'm gonna be wrong, but whatever.
I'm a 34. How old am I? I don't know. I'm 30-something. I'm a 30-something-year-old man with 4 kids who knows nothing about being a dad.
Really? You still feel that way?
Every fucking parent feels that way. Deep down, honestly, you don't know anything. Mm-hmm. Like, you can read books, you can do this.
It's like that's one thing you ask. Like, I asked my dad, like, how, like, my dad's 50.
Yeah.
Like, how old do you feel? And he's like, I feel like I'm still 19. Like, I feel like I'm, like, my body's gotten older and I feel that. And amen, I feel that. But I still, in my head, I still feel like I'm 19.
Yeah.
And
it's so true. I mean, I make the joke that I'm old because I'm sitting here with a 20-year-old kid.
Yeah.
But, like, I'm not that old. But I'm 30-some. I'm going to college. And in my brain, there's no difference there, right? Like, in my brain, I'm just like, I'm one of the kids.
Yeah.
In my brain, I'm just like...
And you feel that way.
And I feel like I'm one of the kids. Yeah. I'm in there. I'm learning stuff. I'm learning with you guys. Like, I am a part of the team. And to the class's credit, you guys have made me feel like...
Yeah.
Like, you guys have been very cool to me.
You're also not like an old dude.
Which helps.
Yeah.
But you never do outgrow that brain either, right? Where it's just like, I am one of the, and you have to remind yourself every once in a while.
I think that's credit to you, though, too, because you have, like, a youthful spirit, like, you're not, like, but seriously, though, like, most, like, a lot of 30-year-olds I know wouldn't do a podcast kind of thing. You know what I mean? Like, or they wouldn't even be plugged into that culture or whatever it is.
But what is a podcast?
What's a podcast? How do I download it?
Do I put that on my iTunes?
But to your credit, you are also, like, have held on to your youth. At least.
God, it's a struggle.
It's a struggle.
But you also have to sometimes you have to remember.
Is that a conscious thing though? Actually,
like, you have to be conscious about it sometimes. Yeah. Because like I will get into a zone where like, look, you fucking kids.
Yeah.
What the fuck?
I don't understand this. It's wrong.
Yeah. But like, and you have to deal with 20-year-olds differently than you would treat a 30-year-old, differently than you would treat a 40-year-old, because like as a 20-year-old, you haven't lived life yet.
No.
Like you're just out of high school. And,
really, yeah.
And
in retrospect to you, to you.
And like, and then when you think about when I was 20 years old, I was a fucking idiot. Mm-hmm. And sometimes, you're obviously not an idiot, and I'm not calling you an idiot.
Thank you.
And I'm not calling any other 20-year-olds an idiot. I'm just saying.
But you were an idiot.
But I was an idiot.
Yeah.
But you have to remember that, when there's life experience. Mm-hmm. And you can't expect a 20-year-old to have the same life experience as a 30-year-old, as a 40-year-old,
of course,
as whatever. And sometimes I do get really frustrated at the 20-year-olds, the 19-year-olds, fresh out of high school kids, because it's just like, no, you should know what the why are you even here?
Yeah.
And I do,
like in college, and like that gets me, man, too.
And I get really frustrated because it's like
my university friends are like that really badly, badly. Like they have no idea what they're gonna do.
And then you have to remember.
One friend of mine told me literally, it's just a field of study. I'm like, but you gotta get a job.
But then, but my 30-some-odd-year-old brain is just like, what? You have to be serious about this. You have to do this now. What the fuck are you doing?
Yeah.
But then I have to remember back to my 20-year-old brain.
Yeah.
My 20-year-old brain flew off to fucking Texas. Out of high school, I went to Texas.
You weren't making amazing decisions either at that time.
I just fucked off.
Yeah.
And I joined a cult, and that's a whole other thing.
We'll get into that one day, but not today.
Sometimes I have to remind myself that, no, they have to live. Yeah. And if spending a bunch of money to fail out of, college is a life thing,
then they have to do it.
And it's a lesson learned.
Yeah.
And it's a maturity, and they'll bounce back, and they'll do something great. They have all the fucking time in the world to get this right.
Yeah.
But right now...
It's just you're hurried,
Yeah.
I'm 34, I need to get this done now. Be serious now.
I don't have a whole lot of time left to really get this shit figured out.
I hear you, man.
I'm not super old, but I am in my 30s, and at this point in my life, I can't fuck around because it's like...
It's this is your big opportunity to, do it.
Yeah.
And there's not a lot.
While I'm still technically kind of young.
But seriously, though, yeah. And you're a dad, and all the responsibility moving everybody over here. Like that's just crazy.
But so a lot of that is just reminding myself that they are still 20. They still have time.
Yeah.
Youth is about fucking up.
Yeah.
That's the point.
You got time to fuck up. Fuck right up.
That is the point of being youthful, is to fuck up.
That's why I feel really good. That's why I'm glad I did take a gap year.
Mm-hmm.
Because I would have fucked up royally.
Yeah.
I would have fucked up real bad if I went right out of high school. I actually ended up taking 2 gap years, but that's because I wanted to do I thought I wanted to be a social worker.
Oh, cool.
And I applied. I got in, and then a week in, I was like, I didn't even go to class.
I fucking hate kids.
Yeah, I realized before I was gonna drop out, and I was like, I can't do this for the rest of my life. That's crazy. I want to be a filmmaker, but I was just too scared to admit that I wanted to be a filmmaker.
Oh yeah,
and that I was gonna hustle and struggle for the rest of my life.
Yeah.
And I'm choosing that. I didn't want to do that.
Yeah.
But now I realize if I don't, I will want to kill myself, more than I did before. Yeah. So now it's way better.
And what you don't want to do is end up just in the middle grounds of never really knowing what you want to do.
Yeah.
Because then you're working at the quickie for the rest of your life.
Yeah, but seriously though, yeah. And that's scary. That's a lot of people though. That is a lot of people.
Yeah.
Yeah. And you really don't look at it enough. Or are you just stuck in something because you didn't look at it enough or take enough time?
And you're just you have the passion to do something, and you just have to...
Or you're too scared to do it or whatever it is, yeah.
Yeah. This has been good. I like this.
Oh, we were going to talk about legacy and family, and we totally went on a tangent.
We went on a tangent. That's cool.
Fine.
That's what good...
The less I have to talk about death, I'm fine.
Yeah. I don't know. Ever since having kids, death has been less of a... worry, if that makes sense.
Really? It took away worry?
Yeah.
I would thought that would add worry like crazy.
Early death adds worry.
Yeah.
But no, if I'm there to see my kids grow up to be adults and have their own kids and live, long...
You're imagining you're on your deathbed and you're going to die. You're 80.
Yeah.
And all your kids
are around you. And as long as my kids aren't complete fuck-ups...
They're going to be there, and they're going to be good people.
If they're good, and I know they're going to be good people.
Yeah.
That's what...
By now, hopefully you can tell.
Yeah, sometimes. But, it takes a little bit of the stress out of the way that I know I'm not going to be completely forgotten.
Yeah.
And because I think that's what scares me most about death, is the idea of being completely forgotten, right?
That's what my... my aunt, who passed away... So I did a video. I already explained this to you, but I'll explain it to the audience. I wanted to do a memorial video for my aunt. So we knew she was going to pass away for a while. And the Christmas that just passed, we knew it was going to be her last Christmas. We had known already she had passed the doctor's estimations of like how long she had to live, right? And so we knew this was going to be last year. So I wanted to do a video. So I went and I interviewed the whole family, and then I surprised her we did an interview with her, and then I surprised her with the video, and we showed her, and they said all the nice things, and cried with her and all that stuff, right? And she said, we don't hear that often. We don't hear how we're going to be remembered ever, and that's what that video was. And like, I thought, and it made me think, like, going around to it was because I was guilty, because I wasn't there. I'm in Belleville, and my mom, they live in Kitchener, right? So I wasn't. That was for me part of my grieving process to do it too, and it like watching it back, like having to edit it back and seeing like all my family talk about. They all said how kind she was, and they all said how positive she was, and how strong she was, and like. There was like these big things that she was remembered by, and like they truly believed these things. Like they weren't just saying it to be nice, because like she's dead, and like you don't want to shit on somebody who's dead. They literally believed what they were saying, and like that really hit me. Like, cause like I remember I talked to my other friends once, cause I like to talk about death. It's kind of a weird thing. Yeah. I like to think about it. I do, and I think about it a lot. And so I asked my one friend, my best friend Dan, and I said, "How do you ever think about how you want to be remembered?" And he said to me, successful as a filmmaker, whatever it was, right? And I said simply, I just want to be remembered as kind. And he kind of turned his nose up to that a little bit. He was like, I don't know, like I don't want to be just kind. Like that seems like it's a low bar to set for yourself. Essentially, is what he said.
Like everybody says at the wake. He's like, they were so
kind. But people do say that as just as a misnomer, as like just to say it, But this is being said as like this is a true characteristic she held and like believed in, and that's what she wanted to be remembered as, was kind. And like looking at how she was remembered and how she was successful at being remembered that way, I think that's valiant. I think that's huge to be as that's your final thing. That you weren't an asshole, like that's really what it is. That's what it boils down to. I wasn't a dick to people. I think that's really cool. Huge. I think that's huge
because it's pretty easy to be remembered as
because I think anybody listening or you and I can think of somebody who's like they're going to be remembered as a dick.
Yeah,
and people are going to say they were nice, they were sweet, but in the back of their mind they're thinking, what an asshole, what a prick. And
why am I even here?
Yeah, and I don't want to be remembered that way. So yeah, if the only thing people will think of is kind, God bless them. I lived a good life. Yeah. Yeah.
That's cool.
I think that's a good note to end on.
That's a good note to
end on. That sounds nice, doesn't it?
Be kind.
Be kind, everybody. It's not just something that you should do.
You don't have to be, You
don't have to be a prick to get ahead.
Yeah.
You can be a nice guy.
Yeah. Be nice. Anyway.
Nice people don't finish last, everybody, okay?
Except for
when you die.
Except for you.
Then you do finish last.
Right now.
Then you're real last. You're done. You're out of the race.
I got this knife right here in this drawer.
Yep, Chris is going to kill me.
This is the last episode. No, it's not the last. I'll get somebody else. It's fine.
I'm easily replaceable. I've known it from the start. It's fine.
Thank you guys for listening. We are on
thank you so much.
iTunes. We are on YouTube. Wherever you're listening here, give us a like or give us a positive review or anything like that.
We need it. We have low self-esteem.
Share this.
Please. And
we do. We actually...
Seriously, guys, if you actually do like this podcast at all and want to help it, the best way to help it is to share it.
Yeah, just share it out. Let people know we're a very
nothing too major. We're just a small couple of young lads
who just want to be remembered.
Want to be famous.
We just want to be famous. I want to buy a Maserati, and no, I wouldn't even know what to do with an expensive
You couldn't
car.
Fit in a Maserati. It's true. Okay, thank you so much, guys. See you on the next movie.
On the next movie. No.
Bye.
No.